We've just seen the shock death of Tess in Emmerdale. So what was your reaction when you found out that this was the way the character was going to be dispatched?
Kate took Dom and I into her office a couple of months back to say, this is the story arc, this is how it's going to pan out. And we were literally like soap fans on the edge of the sofa going, oh my God, oh, I can't believe it's going to happen, all of this thing. And then when she said, and then there's an accident, and we were like, oh my God. It was just I mean, obviously with it being Nicola Stevenson, I wish she could have been here for longer because she's brilliant and I've loved having her here. But I think it's an interesting and crazy end to her life, but not the end to the situation.
So tell us about Rhona's reaction when she finds out that Paddy's been having an affair with Tess.
It comes not as soon as you'd think, actually. She thinks Paddy's grieving for somebody he knew and because he was there at the accident, the scene of the accident. So when it eventually comes out, it's utter shock and devastation because actually of all the things she could have imagined Paddy doing, having an affair is really bottom of the list. So it's about trying to work her way through it and how she can try and reconcile this situation, and I think that's what will be interesting to watch, is how she tries to.
And what about you personally? Do you want to see them save the marriage, or do you think it's sort of time for them to Splitsville?
A lot of people ask me this. I love working with Dominic, Ron. I absolutely do. We have a lot of fun on set, and I think we have a natural sort of understanding of each other now after 6 years of being together. So I would love to see them get through it. But I think it will be a long journey, and I think it's important it's a long journey because this is not something that's flippant. You know, this is a long and planned affair in some respects. So yeah, be an interesting journey.
We've heard a few rumours that Rhona's ex Marlon might sort of still be in the picture. Can you sort of tease a little bit about what happens between them?
Yeah, I think, you know, when all of the hurt sort of lands on her and when she realises what the extent that Paddy's gone to, she questions how she could have avoided this, how she could have had this not happen to her. And she takes herself back to the beginning of their relationship and how that started, which, as we know, she was with Marlon and then she left Marlon for Paddy. And so it makes her think, hang on, if I hadn't have left Marlon, Paddy could never have hurt me like this, and that's where maybe I should have stayed. She doesn't feel attractive, she doesn't feel loved, she doesn't feel needed or wanted, and Marlon's being lovely. He doesn't know about the affair, but he's just being a very supportive friend and father to their child. And yeah, so she leans on him a bit, and they become close. And he's a great friend to her.
So this has obviously been a big emotional storyline to play. Has it sort of compared to the stuff you've done in the past in terms of crying and things like that?
There's a lot of it that's to come. Brace yourself. Yeah, it's been very demanding, more emotionally actually than even the drug storyline, because that was a lot of physical stuff as well with her, you know, kind of going through the actual physical motions of withdrawal and all of that. But it's been, for want of a better word, a very enjoyable storyline. Dom and I have worked very hard on it, and we've had a great time doing it, as much as it sounds awful. It's such a grim situation, but I've loved it. I've loved it.
Just finally, there's obviously Tess's husband, Pierce, is coming into the show. Can you just tease a little bit about how he might shake things up?
Jonathan's brilliant, and it's great to have him on board. I'm really excited about working with him. He's a very tenacious character, and he wants to know what's gone on. And as far as he knows, Rhona and Paddy were the last people to speak to Tess before she died, and he wants all the information he can get, and he's not letting that go. He really isn't. So he keeps coming back and coming back and coming back to find out. He's sort of chipping away what information can he get out of us. I don't think he quite expects what he is going to get out of us. And none of us quite know how that's going to pan out, but he's here for a bit, and it's going to be good fun.